Hey, good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since we've been go-kart racing, so welcome to our Saturday night series, or Saturday Night Thunder, with John driving his go-kart. He's behind that yellow one right there. He's in the black body with the white helmet. And also running out of his garage is also his co-worker, Tyler Teisfeld, in the 11 cart, bringing up the rear. Tyler's never raced before. This car's never been on the track before, so it'll be interesting to see how Tyler does. John hasn't raced in 2 or 3 months because we've been planting cotton and peanuts. Haven't had a lot of prep time, so here we are for his feature race. We'll see how it goes. We're at the Callahan Speedway in Callahan, Florida. Already got issues in the warm-up lap. Everybody bumping and beating and cramming. This track tonight is a single file line, so passing is tough and getting bumped out of position is easy. I'm down coming out of turn 4 is where I'm standing. They're giving them the next time coming out of 4, they're going to be ready to go. Several piled up, so John made it through the melee. So that'll bring a caution out, so there'll be a restart. Tyler made it through. That's the one advantage of coming up the rear. You can stop. You don't have to worry about nobody hitting you from behind. John started 9th, and I think Tyler was 12th. We'll see how they reposition. Since they didn't make a complete lap, everybody should get their spots back. Car way up there in 1 and 2. I hear people next to me saying he ain't got no brakes. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, the yellow car has come in the pit. Kart has come in the pit, so that should move John up at least one more spot because that yellow Kart was in front of him. Again, we haven't prepped much for this race. It's just more about getting seat time and getting back in the groove. They are racing here next Saturday, but we haven't made up our mind if we're coming back. See if we can get a lap this time. And Tyler's passed a Kart. John was trying to dip down below that white one between 1 and 2, but again, this is a single file racetrack, so it's hard to pass. John got slipped back. Yep, Tyler just spun John out. They both spun out. Teammates aren't supposed to do that. John's right, yeah, John just got under Tyler, sent Tyler high. It's a little bit of payback there, I would guess. If you followed us before, we had been running the Nashville Speedway, and John was tied for points, or in second in points there, and he's coming off the track, so that will end his night. Tyler's coming off the track, so that will end both of their nights. So with that, folks, we'll say goodbye. Now that clip that you just saw come from my cell phone, so this here is a GoPro that we mounted to the dash of John's go-kart. So this is what you see is what he sees. And it's a pretty good camera angle, but we had it stabilized from left to right, but what we didn't have stabilized was the front to back. You'll see it start to fall down. See there, it's going down just to shining on his feet. So you get good shot of his footwork in there. He just pulled it back, but it fell down again. You can see his hand trying to pull it back. So we've got to work on that for next week. But we're going to go through some of the clips that you saw on my phone and talk about some of it, because the perspective of me seeing it, filming it live, and then what you see here are two different things. So even though what we see on video may not show the true picture. So here they're getting everybody lined up, because in the garage, they come out of the garage single file, and here John got ahead of somebody that's supposed to be in front of him, so they've got the gap there, and you'll see that yellow Kart. And then John pulls back up. And as I said in that other clip, this track is a single file, so they're having to start a single file, because if they started too wide, they'd never get a restart. This track was just not set up for too wide passing today, and we've been here before, and it has been just an odd creature today that the track was in the shape it was. And I'm going to cut some clips out in a moment just for the sake of brevity. As you can see here, John says this really isn't as bumpy as what the camera makes it out to be. And you don't hear any sound from the GoPro, because I got it in a waterproof case to protect it from the dust and dirt, so all the sound is cut off. So I'm ad-libbing to this. And here's just a warm-up laps. Remember I said in that other clip where some of them were already spinning out. They're just trying to jockey for positions. And here they've got started. They're into lap 1, and remember that melee that I talked about, that they're all up on that top side. And no, they haven't started yet, so they're still on the pace lap. We'll see if we can see when John fires. There's not much of a throttle on this, so sometimes you don't see feathering it there. We'll see what he does. Without sound, that's sort of hard to tell. They still haven't started. They're getting carts lined up. You see that one passed him on the inside. didn't have any heat races tonight. All they done was warm-ups and took qualifying laps out of the warm-ups and then lined them up for the feature. See, there's that melee when the race started, so John made it through that. But they'll have to restart again. But not having 2 heat races really didn't give people time to prepare their karts. So that was a definite disadvantage to Tyler, only having warm-up laps. To John, we just missed the tire setup. He was loose as a goose from the word go. Just couldn't get no traction down in 1 and 2. Then you put the camera back up. Boy, it'd be so nice to see the whole race like this, and we will have that fixed for the next time. And remember that number 151 there. That comes into play, or he comes into play later in the race. So they're getting ready to line back up. You see that yellow cart that just comes speeding by. Remember in that first clips off my phone, I said that yellow cart didn't have no brakes. You saw him just come by. Luckily, the gentleman standing there in front of John wasn't no farther up than he was, or he could have very well possibly got run over and got hurt. So thank the Lord for that. But back to that 151 that I was mentioning a moment ago, where he comes into play. Remember in that first clip that I talked about where Tyler hit John in the back and they both spun out, and it actually ended up that 151 hit Tyler in the back, pushing Tyler into John, and that's what spun both of them out. So the teammates didn't take each other out. The 151 was the cause of that. Then later on, when I said John took Tyler out, the teammates was payback, that wasn't true either. Remember, they're on the far end of the track, so I can't see everything. But what happened is Tyler went high, and then John went under him, so they never touched. But that was just on the far end of the track where looks was deceiving. Right here is where the 151 hit Tyler in the back and then pushed John around. Well, Tyler went around as well. See, that's the good thing about go-karts. You really don't hurt the cart that much, but you lose so much position. You get so far out of kilter. See, the leaders are already coming back around. John's just dead meat because they don't throw the caution out, so you're already behind the 8 ball. So just is what it is. See, that's Tyler in front of him, and Tyler just went high. So John did not push Tyler off the track because Tyler went high on his own. And John and Tyler both, they run a couple more laps, but they were already a lap down. The carts were loose. So that's why they decided to go ahead and call it a night. You'll see John fixing to pull in, so he's already up on the high groove where the leaders can come around him. And he's just going to pull off. So that'll obviously end the video here. So we hope you like what you saw. Give us that thumbs up. Subscribe to us if you're not a subscriber. Next week, I promise you that we will have the camera in the right position. So until then, y'all take care and God bless.